Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to be watching Rhazin Scarhide, the fusion that everybody should be working on. He is a beast. We're going to be really talking about masteries, the defensive tree mastery, because I really haven't gone into it much. And I'm going to be trying out Retribution and Deterrence. Retribution has a 50% chance to counter when you lose 25% of your HP from a single enemy's skill. And Deterrence has a 20% to counter when an enemy applies stun, sleep, or freeze on an ally. I just wanted to go over his gear as well here because I know everybody's going to ask me, hey, what is his gear? I know my head is probably covering up a little bit of his stats over here, but we're gonna do a total overview in just 1 second and you'll be able to see all of his stats. It won't be a problem. And you can see how many books I put into him so far. This is the defense tree. This is Retribution that I just talked about. 50% chance to counterattack when you lose 25% HP from a single ability, and then 20% to counterattack. So we're going to try this out on the clan boss. We're going to have Bad L as the lead. He's going to be the one getting stunned the most. Actually, Apothecary gets stunned a few times as well. But we want to see how often, obviously it's 20%, that's how often it'll proc, but we want to see if it's really viable. Does it really make a difference to go in there and use that to get a little bit of extra damage? So let's go over here to the clan boss. Oh, we've got some goodies. Let's get this sacred shard real quick. Come on. Let's see what we have. All right, we've got we've got some gems. That's fine. I'll never turn away gems. 10 gems. I don't mind. And we've got a void shard. I will take it. Get rid of this gear. Most of the time, this gear really, for me, isn't that good. There are some times when it has really good substats, but I don't know if 6-star gear really pops up here yet. Maybe when we get a new clan boss, we'll have new gear. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out Steel Skull. He is my main DPSer on Void. He does about 8.5 to 9. He can do over 9 million. We're going to take him out. So hopefully I still do over 20 million on the Nightmare Clan boss in 1 key, so I can 2 key it and have my 40 million to be able to get the ultimate chest to get all the goodies you just saw. So here we go. We're going to put Rhazin in there. We've got Altan, we've got Martyr, we've got Bad L, and we've got Apothecary. I really want that new Void Apothecary. Actually, I had that Void Shard. I should open it up and see if it's not that girl. I cannot remember her name right now. But the Void one I went over that does the buff, the speed. It does everything Apothecary does, but can reset her allies' cooldowns. And I can't even remember what else she does now. She's pretty amazing. It just does the attack down as well. So if we're watching here, we're going to ramp up, and eventually Rhazin is going to be doing about 30,000 to 33,000 per hit. So he's going to be doing anywhere from 90 to 100,000 on his skill 1, and then he has 3 chances to proc Giant Slayer. And when he does it, there you go. You see a Giant Slayer proc. Sometimes I've seen him do it 3 times in a row. Sometimes you don't see it at all. It's just RNG, but it's good damage. You got to have it. He's got lifesteal gear on. You saw before. So really, we're just seeing. I've counted the number. I've already gone through it, so we're not going to sit here and watch this whole battle. It's full auto. It's only about 8-9 minutes. It's not very long, but I'm going to get to the fun part. I'm going to skip ahead, and we'll see the fun part. But right now, it is interesting as well. Altan and Rhazin do about the same amount of damage. They're both defense based, but Altan is more defense heavy and Rhazin's more critical damage heavy. So it is pretty cool to see them doing about the same damage. Rhazin does a little more damage on his skill 1 compared to Altan. Altan's usually about, that was a counterattack. So whenever you see the counterattacks, they're a lot less. He usually does about, when he's all ramped up with the defense buff on, he'll usually do around 70-something thousand, and Rhazin will usually do around 90 to 100,000. But Altan's skill 2 will do about 130. There's 128 you just saw, and Rhazin's skill 2 kind of fluctuated a lot. I saw anywhere from 90 to like 110 or 119. It really wasn't consistent. I don't know why he was critting every time. So it just depends on if, was there a weakening up? Was there, defense down? Did he have a defense buff on to increase his defense damage? All those things. I wasn't really paying total attention, but in general, they have about the same damage, which is really cool because they have different gear, and we're going to look at that in just a minute. So let me skip forward a little bit. Let me go to, let's see, where are we at? We're at here. Let's go to the fun part. Bad L is going to get taken out eventually just from a crit. Actually, we do have an attack down. Let me see. When is that going to happen? When is that going to happen? Because then we really get to see if Rhazin's going to counterattack when somebody gets stunned, and is he going to counterattack with a 50% chance when he loses 25% of his life from one hit from the clan boss. And I can already tell you, I have the numbers. Let me go to them. Sorry, I have the numbers. The clan boss stunned somebody 9 times. 9 different times during this whole battle. The clan boss stunned somebody, and he only attacked back once. So that 20% only attacked back once out of 9, that's fine. We understand 20% easy. And then when he dropped down HP by 25% from the clan boss, he attacked back 3 different times. So it should happen more. We're going to get to see a lot of it toward the end here when Bad L gets taken out. I want him to, okay, there he gets taken out. So maybe, oh, you know what? I changed Bad L's gear to that stun set so I could play around with it in Fire Knights just the last video. So I could AoE and stun people, and I think he's got a lot less HP than he normally has with his normal gear on. I bet that's what it was. I know that's what it was because he's got stun gear isn't going to do us any good in the clan boss right now. So I'll go back, put some different gear on him, play around with some other stuff. I need to move that stun gear to another surprise champion that I'm going to do a video on shortly, probably tomorrow. I need to get going with a whole bunch of other tier list videos along with these kind of videos so we can kind of mix and match and put them all in there and have some fun with it. But if you've been watching, here he is. He just lost a good amount. He could have countered 50% chance then because he lost 25% chance. He lost 25% of his life on that one attack, but he didn't. Now also we've got counter a lot of times up with Martyr, so he's not going to counterattack twice. Your champions will not counterattack from being hit and then counterattack again from proccing one of these effects. They'll only go one time. But right now he doesn't have it. Toward the end here, he started doing a lot. Like people got stunned, people got hurt. You'll see the blue, it'll actually come up and say counterattack. Here we go. Let's see. When Altan gets stun hit right here in a minute, he's going to counterattack. See, it says counterattack. And there were other times while I was talking that he actually did it. But like I said, so 9 times people got stunned. 1 time he counterattacked. Off of that, and you only have 20% on that. And then a couple times he countered, 3 times he counterattacked when he lost 25% HP. Now, I don't think that's a benefit for somebody like him. I think somebody for Rhazin, if he went into the support tree and had a 30% chance to extend his debuffs, I think if we had weaken up longer, you know, instead of 2 turns, it would be up 3 turns, 30% chance to make it 3 turns sometimes, and he applies it a lot during the fight, especially if you get his cooldown down to 3 turns, he would get, you know, overall more damage from everybody with having that weaken up longer than him doing these few counterattacks. So for Rhazin, if it's just a pure DPS class and you want to get a couple more damage out of them, if they don't actually apply a debuff that's going to increase your overall speed like Rhazin does, then I could say, okay, let's use this. But since he applies that weaken, there's nobody else on my team applying weaken. We do have decreased defense from Martyr. That's fine, so it's not that important. We're always going to have that up most of the time. But weaken, if we can get that 25% additional damage by everybody on the team is going to do 25% more damage when it's up, then that is much more important than these few attacks he got back. So I'm going to switch him from the defense tree in the middle that we just saw a minute ago and switch him back to support and get him the chance to get turn meter increase and to increase his have a chance to increase his debuffs on the boss. Now these are his overall stats. Now look at this is what I found interesting. 3,500, 158 critical damage. And then we go to Altan and he has a 3,187. So Altan's got more crit damage, less defense, right? But they're both doing about the same damage. So maybe defense is just as strong as crit damage. Attack doesn't seem to be, but I have no basis upon that, but what if attack 1 point of attack does 3 damage unmitigated, just 3 damage, let's just say, for hypothetical. And then what if 1 point of defense does 4 or 5 damage? Maybe it's stronger, I don't know. So in that case, more defense would equal the same amount as critical damage, or could even do more. So I don't know, it's a good question. It's something interesting that I'll need to play with. I'm going to load up my guy with just tons and tons of defense with the same 100% crit rate and see if it makes a difference. What I'll do is I'll do a test on one, maybe I'll do a test on Altan, and then I'll run them together again with one having totally just maxed out defense and the other one having critical damage and not a lot of defense, you know, around 3,000. So here we go. These were the skills I was testing out. Retribution, you saw how they went, and deterrence right here. So that's really all I've got. Like I said, I would not keep them on Rhazin. It's just, you know, to get that weekend up, I think is going to be much more important than have those few hits that we just saw and that I calculated. You just have to believe me on that. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. That's all I've got. If you would, subscribe above with the big SG, and there are some other videos for you to watch. You guys have a wonderful night.